I am back from Dallas, Texas, and
Yes.
an amazing night of fights between everyone on the card, but obviously the main event, Jake Paul, Nate Diaz. We're going to get to it, Sensei, but we have a lot to talk about as
Yes, we
far
do.
as fight week in general. You just came off a live stream, been to Bane Davis, Sensei. I was replaced on my own channel. I can't believe you've done this to me. Am I now back in the fold? Is that okay? I can come back home now?
You're back. But it was a good time with Ben, dude. It was a good time. My man was.
Did he rock the
he's a- he's-
turtleneck?
He did rock the turtleneck. He's
W.
a character, full of energy. It was great.
I heard he was full of Modelo's by the end of the night. That's what I heard.
He was full of Modelo's.
Yeah.
And then by the end, it was like, he was like, so we just cutting the live stream at the end, or how do we end this? I was like, we ain't singing because Wade's not here. So
No,
we
you can't. You can't. It's a
I
tradition
think
only for us.
we need a, one of those things.
The old
it
school
was
Wade
awesome.
feel streams back. But no, yeah, I heard you
Yes.
guys killed it, man. Did crazy views
Yeah.
on it. And while you guys were doing that, obviously I was commentating the Jake Paul versus Nate card. We're gonna get to it, but I want to talk
Killing
about
it.
fight week, man, because there's a lot that came out
Yes.
and some things I want to show you. So for number one, you know how much of a fangirl I am over Ariel Helwani.
This man meets him and then immediately works with him.
So yes, the meeting
business.
finally happened. It was me. I don't know if people know this. I reached out about this idea I've had about 5-6 months now. You've been on it. It's called The Debate. You know what I mean? We've done this idea on the breakdown in the main channel, and I had reached out to Ariel about it right after the first Kingpin tournament. That's how long I tried to put this. That's the
Gotcha.
seed. Joey Diaz. That's the seed. I tried to plan it way back. And so I reached out. He said, hey, man, I'd love to do it if I have some time. I didn't realize how busy he was going to be.
Yeah.
They milked Ariel like a freaking cow all week. That man was, that sounds weird, but he was working every single day, 10 hours a day. He was just going, you know what I'm saying? So,
Whatever you say, Doc. Whatever you say.
so
Shoot. I don't know what they be doing in Dallas now. The South got some farms down there. Man, they be different down there. The
Anyway,
sundown towns be different, you know what I mean? It be wild out there. I thought Ariel's on your side. What
he
we saying,
is.
dude?
He is. Okay. Anyway, so he's working, but I didn't even meet Ariel until about 5 minutes before we do the episode. That's what's crazy. I meet him in the hallway. He's still got his suit on from doing the press conference for Jake and Nate. And he's standing there. I was like, oh, because he's trying to find out where I was. I was like, Ariel, come through. And dude, we just record the episode, and it was just like dude, it was like when we met, just talking to someone you feel like you've always known, bro. And it was crazy. He's so talented. He was able to be entertaining on my show, go through the topics, but also like mentor me live there, which was crazy. I don't know if he even meant to do that, but like about the whole, Misfit situation and how he went through something similar at Fox Sports.
Yeah.
And he was like kind of telling me like how the ropes were on it. And I was like, this is crazy. I'm realizing in real time while I'm on camera, this man
Yeah,
is
because
like,
you're on camera, but you're getting like a genuine
Yeah.
conversation, which would have been beneficial outside, like off camera.
yeah. And
That's dope.
which
That's
we,
dope.
we did talk about off camera as well. But then we get done. We go into the next room because I thought we had a DAZN meeting. Turned out we didn't. And Ariel's about to leave to go back to his room, and he turns around and goes, Wade, what are you doing tomorrow 6:30? I was like, I don't know, whatever. And he goes, come on the MMA hour. I'll see you. You'll be our last guest on. Come through. And I'm like,
Let's go.
bro. So that was that's what happened.
Dope.
And I'm gonna show you real quick. This is what we got out of it. So this is this right here. Let me make sure I'm capturing the right deal here, so we don't have another flipping issue. This is me on the MMA hour. First off, check the shirt. You understand what I'm saying? Swagged out,
Shirt's
buddy.
clean, dude.
Shirt's clean. Had to get the extra medium so the guns popped out. We talked about this.
It's got a little shoulder pad in there. You know what I'm saying? Make the shoulders pop
Look
out.
how, what's funny? Look how it's made for a regular human shoulder, but I just have more narrow shoulders, so it just doesn't fill it out. Like that's a regular human should be here. There's where my shoulder. So, it is what it is. Rocking the wedding watch.
Yes.
It's made the travels now. You know what I'm saying?
That watch, man.
Got a life of its own. All right, keep this. Where is this at? All right, keep 118 in your mind. We're gonna come back to this, but you got a shout out or two here on the MMA Hour, so we're gonna find it here.
So I started going back through the catalog of.
By the way, they were taking down the set while we were doing this, which I thought was dope.
The Nate fight was around that time, and I was just continuing.
Yeah, it's a cool look.
My girlfriend at the time hold the camera. I'm breaking it. I really started on podcast. Sorry, plug there.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
What's crazy?
Hey, a little breakdown plug.
I'm breaking it down.
Come on.
It was an hour or
You're
two
just
in the
grinding,
car.
yeah.
Just going, man.
Yeah.
So, and then it really started to go off when I covered what's crazy enough now, my co-host on the Breakdown podcast. Sorry, plug there.
Yep.
Face Sensei and KSI did a spar, and I broke down the spar.
Yeah.
And it took off. Did like 100,000.
W breakdown. Shout out
W's.
Face Sensei
Shout
now
out.
in.
But I'm there. I'm not there, but I'm there.
That's what I'm saying. You're now in canon on the MMA Hour. You've now done it.
Wow.
So then, Face Sensei, because I am such I'm gonna be an adopted Haverhill man myself soon.
H-Town, the house.
I had to give one of the greatest shout outs in breakdown history. So the topic came up about Rob Font and Calvin Kattar. Obviously, Calvin Kattar, or not Calvin Kattar. Rob Font, Corey Sandhagen, and Calvin Kattar had a mention. But Sandhagen wins the fight on Saturday. But Ariel wanted to get my thoughts on it because, the MMA Hour, got to talk some MMA.
Yeah.
And I had to, of course, mention the city that these two men, Rob Font and Calvin Kattar, train in. Let's take a listen here.
But
Right.
that one's there. I'm sure, if they both want that.
Last one, I'll put you on the spot since you are tonight as well.
What's great,
Yeah.
Rob Font is one of Face Sensei's boys.
Wow.
You're talking about Haverhill. So shout out Haverhill, Massachusetts. That
H-Town in the house.
Love that. Shout out Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Sean Farley.
One of Face Sensei's boys.
Wow.
You're talking about Haverhill. So shout out Haverhill,
Dude.
Massachusetts. That Sean Farley, shout out, by the way.
You said it like you trying not to laugh
Bro,
so hard.
you see me think of it in the moment too. Like, here's where it comes to my mind. It's so funny. I'm sitting there thinking about it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, Rob Font, yada yada. And I was like, yeah.
That
Immediately I'm like, yeah, Sean Farley.
Sean Farley, shout out, by the way.
So Sean Farley, or Sean Farley, as you guys have probably heard us say many times on stream and or videos, is a boxing coach around that area that has trained with Calvin Kattar, Rob Font, and even if you guys have seen some of our shorts on the breakdown, Face Sensei, and it's just been a running joke with us, but also Sean's the man, and we wanted to make sure we got a shout out. He'll love that. So yeah, had to get H-Town to the building, son.
I was looking at a text from Sean Farley because I told you that I was talking to him
Yeah.
about one of his fighters.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the fighters. Kid.
And he was like trying to set up a fight.
Okay.
He's like, we seen that Blueface kid. You know what I'm saying? So, our guy versus Blue Balls. So he sent me little clips. I gotta respond to him. I'm like, listen, I don't got a plug like that.
He just thinks we just got it like that, bro. He's like,
We
yeah,
just
you
got it
gotta
like
know,
that.
you gotta know this Blue Balls.
And
guy,
I can't just be that guy. Just let's get this legit fighter out here. You know what I'm saying?
Just gonna mess somebody up.
If we can give him a name, you know what I mean? One of our guys, you give him a name versus Blue Balls. I was dying, man. I could just if I could off camera, I'm gonna read this text to you
Oh yes.
with his accent.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Because you have to reading his text in his accent is amazing. The
So,
goat.
The GOAT right there. He gets a mention on the MMA Hour. We're going to send that to him. But yeah, so that happened, man. But then another surreal moment happens. You guys saw the face-to-face stare down here with Jake and Nate. And one Chael P. Sonnen stands in between with the biggest arms this side of West Lynn, Oregon. And that was a pretty cool moment. I'm standing back in the crowd. I'm like, oh, snap. There's Chael Sonnen. That's so sick.
He looked a little nervous, too. He was doing he's like,
Yeah,
should
bro.
I go? Should I go?
Nate's out here flipping the backhand on Jake and doing all, and Jake's
I
like
would be
throwing
too, 'cause
combinations.
You know Nate don't care, dude.
Max. He was throwing
He'll smack somebody.
he's throwing that beautiful roundhouse kick you love so much. And so
It's like a rising leg. That's what it is.
it's the new
Don't even
technique,
call it a kick.
the
Just a
rising leg.
Just a leg rising.
That's what he
from
teaches.
the ground.
Now we're
from the
gonna
earth.
throw the rising leg. So yeah, that happened, and I go back to the hotel. I'm thinking, man, that was so cool. Like, got to see Chael, got to see Ariel. Was on the MMA Hour, whatever. I go downstairs to get something from the lobby, and then I'm coming back up, I go toward the elevators. Boom. Chael Sonnen and his son standing there at the elevators. And I went, oh my God. In my head, I'm like having this full-on monologue. Do I say like, hey, like I know him? Or do I like just say, hey, like a fan? Like, I don't know if he knows who I am because he's looking at me kind of weird, you know?
Yep, going through it.
So I just go with the typical, hey, you know, Mr. Sonnen, my name's Wade. It's nice to meet you. Big fan. When I said Wade, it clicked to him. He's like, Wade from, YouTube. He was having trouble thinking of the channel, but I was like, you know what? I'll let it slide. He's like, yo, Wade from YouTube. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh my God. And it goes from a handshake, and he's strong still, man. He's still a big guy. Like,
yeah,
kind of pulls the hand
Uncle
in
Chael.
to the hug, and I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. All right. Give me the hug, Uncle Chael. Appreciate it. Where are my other uncles actually hug me? No. But no, yeah, so he gives me the hug, right? This is great. And man, it was just a surreal moment. Uncle Chael, Chael's son, and he knew about the channel. He's like, yeah, I've been seeing you on YouTube and doing your thing. I couldn't you can't put that.
That's
shit in
amazing.
words.
That's amazing to meet these guys and be recognized for your content, for your work. You're
Crazy.
appreciated in the scene. You know,
Crazy.
That's insane, dude. That must have been so surreal.
It was wild, man, because I don't even know if I've still processed it because I'm still just like,
Right.
It's all just, happening
going so fast.
so quick, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of, it just, at a blink, all of a sudden we're on fight night. And here we go, dude. Your boy is on play-by-play commentary for DAZN, and I'm telling you right now, I was sweating bullets because I've done play-by-play and I've done it on DAZN, but not in front of the entire UK and Australia and New Zealand and the rest of the world, whatever. You know what I mean?
That's amazing, dude. You got just that commentary.
We're hitting ad reads. We're doing all this 7 hours straight. I was there from the prelim. Shout out my
Wow.
Yeah, 7 hours, dude. Shout out my color commentator, Darren Barker, who I was, again, just how the hell do I end up in positions to be able to commentate with a former IBF world champion? Sean Porter was on the team.
Wow, let's go.
Me and Sean Porter were talking about YouTube. I got to, we're sitting there because he's got the podcast and the whole thing. And I'm like, hey, man, we do some things over on my thing that I think could work on yours. And he was like, oh, yeah, I've been trying to do the live stream thing. And I'm talking to Sean Porter about YouTube. And he's like, yeah, man, let's work on it. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk more. We'll do this. And I'm like,
that's
crazy.
Sick.
Crazy, man. So Sean Porter was there. Alicia Bumgarner was on commentary as well. Obviously Ariel. But then the card starts, running through it, man. Trying to do my thing. We get to the main card. Obviously, you came in a little late, but Chris Avila and
I came in on the Chris Avila and Jeremy Stevens.
Chris Avila looking nice, son. I'm talking
sharp.
Super sharp. Like his rise, his 8 and 9 MMA career, kind of just one of the guys at the, one of the Stockton guys, the NDA guys, to now being highlighted in this boxing thing and potentially, being one of the better boxers to come out of that camp right now. I don't even know if it's, you can't even just argue.
He has a perfect style for boxing.
Yeah.
He what you expect to be like that Stockton style from the Diaz bros. Perfect.
It's like a combination of Nate and Nick into because he has some real technique and skill in his boxing while also pushing the pace. And I said it on commentary. I was like, listen, if you want to get an idea for what Nate's going to bring later against Jake, you're getting a bit of it right here.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was foreshadowing.
It was so funny watching Darren Barker, who's a boxing guy, just watch him and be like, he's doing good things, but I don't know how he's doing it. Like why it's working. You know what I mean? Like why is that working? Because it's technically wrong. None of it makes sense, but it's working,
Yeah.
So that happened, and then H2O Silv, Ashton put on an amazing performance. That kid I'm telling you, he's a future world champ. I've been saying it. I think a lot of people have. Put down a guy in Babyface Silva who had shared the ring with the likes of Tiafimo and other 35ers that had gone on to be champs.
Was it a liver shot?
Liver shot. He put him down with the same shot twice. Put him down the first time, and then he got up. Then he put him down again.
That's nasty. You get hit with a liver shot, then you're just trying to recover, and then you just get hit again.
Started hitting the gritty on him, too. Hitting the gritty around the ring. And they were, and MVP was, they look at the kid as a potential superstar because he is, and they kept getting the city where he's from wrong. They kept going from Las Vegas, and they were flipping out. People were throwing stuff, getting mad, yelling, screaming. at Jimmy Glennon Jr., who is like a legend as a ring announcer, and they're screaming at him.
That's wild. It makes sense though, dude.
But you want to highlight your
if
guy.
I'm like, if it's like I'm from Haverhill,
yeah,
and you're saying like the
New
town
York
over
or something, yeah. Like, it's not even
like,
close.
or like, exactly. You're like, I think Boston knows. Yeah, it was New York.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a Yankees fan. What are you saying, son?
What are you talking about?
You know, what are you talking about? You know.
So
Yeah,
I give it the old, you called it the Wade Force hand. I'm on commentary, and all of a sudden I'm feeling myself. I've got like 7 fights in, so now I'm in control. I'm like, listen, I'm leading this thing. Y'all got issues, bring it to me. And so I throw the hand up. I'm like, I got it, man. I got it. Put the headset back on, and I'm like, I've never heard of Ashton H2O Sill being from Las Vegas. He ain't from the desert. He's from the LBC, baby. Long Beach, stand up. You know, just giving him his flowers. All
I
that.
could just imagine
So
getting all hype.
yeah, so that happened, and then we got to the Amanda Serrano and Heather Hardy fight, which there's a couple of reasons that I was enjoying this fight, but one of them had nothing to do with the fight. We got a little distracted, and unfortunately, the most viral thing that happened well, you know what? That's not true, because what we did realize, by the way, is we'll get to this when we get to Nate and Jake. ESPN and DAZN's YouTube channels used my commentary for all of their highlights on YouTube and on Twitter. It's
That's
like
because they know what it is, bro.
come on, talk to them.
They know
Talk.
that when they listened, they were like, dude, we got to use this voice. Come on now.
6 million or so views already on the YouTube DAZN boxing channel. So fair play there. That's amazing.
That's so dope.
But I went viral for another reason, Sensei. You know, your boy Wade Plim also has an alter ego as Donovan Steele.
Donovan Steve.
He might have made his way into the American Airlines Center on Saturday in Dallas, because as Amanda Serrano walked out, she brought out Saweetie. And I obviously know who she is. Actress,
Yep.
singer, very beautiful lady. And they pointed a camera to her between rounds. She had a big fur coat on. I didn't realize what was underneath, and, well, here's what happened.
These shots, and they really have hurt Hardy.
And there's Saweetie once again. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, I might leave commentary if she keeps doing this. What are we saying? What are we saying? Oh, my goodness. But my eyes have got to be firmly locked on this matchup, Dan. You saw that first round.
By the way, E40's right behind her. I didn't even realize that.
Yes, I love the rise in your voice. Like initially, it's like, all right, so now we have, and he's like, boys, I don't know.
Let me tell you, fellas. Now, I butcher her name there as well, which is what's gone viral. But listen,
Swahili.
I was speaking Swahili, talking about Miss Saweetie, apparently, as I said it.
He's like, but we gotta stay focused. We gotta stay focused.
It was, yeah. Listen, when that amazing, gorgeous individual is standing in front of you, you lose track of all space and time in the English language. So the fact that I didn't even mention the fact that E40 was sitting right behind her shows you how locked in I was on what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's E40 on the block. You know what I'm saying? That's him behind the posted up in the spot.
I think we have a new impression, everybody. We have an official E40.
He always used to double up his punchline.
Oh, facts.
I'm a gangster. What you say. He always used to double up, bro. But yeah, E40 was there to rep Nate 209. But yeah, that went viral. Got on Daily Loud. Fair play. I was fighting
I might
demons.
leave commentary if you keep doing this. My goodness.
Someone put the Denzel, that brother starving meme under it.
Yeah.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it